Unit 7. English beyond that's English. Unit 7. Session A. Activity 9A.
No. Could. Receipt. Island. Palm.
Unit 7.
Half. Wood. Night. Viscount. Knee. Calm. Knife.
B.
The island is calm and covered in palm trees. The knight cut the Viscount's knee with a knife. Could you find the receipt, as I would like to see it?
Unit 7. Session A. Activity 10. 1. We've got some news for you.
You're not moving house again, are you? I can only just remember your new address.
No, Dad, nothing like that. You're going to be grandparents.
You mean... I'll fetch your mother. Jean, Andy has got some good news.
Andy, what's happened?
Sarah's pregnant. We're going to have a baby.
Oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Yes. Well done, son.
2.
Well, we all know that today is Diane's last day in the office before she starts her new job. I would just like to say thank you to Diane for all her hard work and to propose a toast. Here's to Diane.
To Diane.
Diane.
3.
Well, Mr. Slater, I'm pleased to tell you that you have reached the standard required by the Driving Standards Commission in your test, and that you are now able to legally drive a car unaccompanied.
You mean I've passed?
That's right, sir. Well done.
4.
And first prize in the Under-11 story writing competition goes to Alison Roper. Come up, Alison, and collect your prize.
Oh, congratulations, Ali. Yours was a really good story.
5.
Are you still looking for a new job, Phil?
Well, I was, but I think I've decided what I'm going to do.
Oh, go on, tell me.
Well, you know that there are very few jobs in my field in this country, so I've decided to emigrate to Australia. I have plenty of opportunities over there.
Oh, Phil, that's wonderful news. Good for you. When are you...
Unit 7, Session A, Activity 11.
You're looking very pleased with yourself. Oh, yes. What's happened? Oh, that's wonderful. Well done. What are you going to do now? Good for you. We both have something to celebrate. I've just got a promotion and a pay rise. Why don't we go to the pub tonight? We could invite some friends and they can drink to our good fortune.
Unit 7, Session A, Activity 14.
Hello, thanks for coming on the programme. Now you've finished That's English, are you going to speak English regularly? How about visiting an English-speaking country? Any plans? Interesting. What about reading? Are you going to read any books in English or get any magazines? And how about speaking? Do you have another person to talk to or practice with? How will you get conversation practice? Thank you very much, and congratulations on completing the course.
Unit 7, Session B, Activity 10A.
attitude, forward, latitude, backward, altitude, northward, aptitude, eastward, gratitude.
B.
The singer showed gratitude to the multitude of fans by her positive attitude. The ride moved us forward and backward, and then upward and downward. The multitude of followers looked skyward as their leader's plane arrived.
Unit 7, Session B, Activity 11. 1.
Well, I spent a long time learning vocabulary in English, so I like to revise as much as I can. When I go shopping, I always write my list in English, so I can practice vocabulary and spelling. I do it for everything I buy, food, presents, even clothes. It's more fun than doing it in my own language.
2.
My biggest problem is writing English. I get very confused with word order and spelling. I try and practice by writing letters regularly to my German friends who live in the States. They all speak very good English, and they like to get my news, even if my spelling is not always correct.
3.
One of the easiest ways for me to get more practice is to listen to English radio. I try to listen to different sections of programs or the news and understand the main idea or topic of the program. It's surprising how much you can understand if you keep practicing.
4. I know it sounds silly, but I like to think in English just before I go to sleep. It's quiet and there's no one to interrupt me with Spanish words. I think about the people I have seen during the day, what I have done, and what new things I have learnt in English. I enjoy preparing these little descriptions of my day in English. They help me with the language and also with understanding what happens to me. Unit 7, Session B, Activity 13.
My son's learning French and Spanish at school. He's slightly better at French, although he's visited both countries. The school hasn't organised trips to Spain yet. They organised a trip to France. They took the class to Normandy. They stayed in a school and met French schoolchildren, and they visited Bayeux to see the tapestry made at the time of the Norman invasion of Britain. I don't know. If we went to Spain, we'd probably go to Santander. It's easy to reach from Britain. It's a pleasure. Maybe we'll see you in Spain one day.
Unit 7, Consolidation, Activity 1.
Hi, Andrew. How's your new class doing?
Well, we've only just started. They're really nice, though. What about your business group? Have they learnt any Spanish yet?
It's hard work. They can't pronounce the Spanish th. I want them to say Cadiz. They insist on Cadiz.
I know what you mean. My group have real problems with vowel sounds and with J's. We've got a character called John in our book. You can't imagine how it sounds.
But they're okay on grammar, aren't they? My group can't get used to gender. L and ella.
Mine keeps saying things like, he say me.
I do have one problem. Because they're in business, they sometimes miss classes. I'm not sure learning Spanish is important enough for them.
I don't have that problem. My group are in England to learn English and pass exams. They're incredibly motivated.
Maybe my British students think that If they can't learn Spanish, the Spaniards will always learn English.
Well, they may get a shock in the future. I know my group feel they have to learn English, so they're prepared to give it priority. Unit 7. Consolidation. Activity 3. Francis.
I started learning Spanish at secondary school when I was about 14. I really enjoyed the classes, even though they were very traditional. We learnt grammar and vocabulary every lesson, with very little speaking. We did a lot of translation work, and the books we used were very old-fashioned. I got very good results in my exams, but I couldn't really speak Spanish very well, and I had real problems understanding. I go to Spain on holiday every year, so I speak Spanish quite well now, and people often congratulate me on my grammar.
Greg. I got a job with a company which does business with Italy, so I had to go on a language training course. My company paid for classes in a private language school which specialized in Italian for business. The teacher was a young Italian man, and he taught all the classes in Italian. I used to panic if I didn't understand. I think a bit of explanation in English would have helped. I had never studied a language at school, and so I found the grammar of a European language very difficult. The classes were 3 hours long, and I found it impossible to concentrate for that long. I made very slow progress, which was a shame, because I felt very motivated at the beginning. I've stopped going to the classes now, but I would love to try again. Donna.
I was unemployed after I left college, and so I decided to go travelling. I started in France, as it's the nearest country to England. I got a summer job picking fruit, and although I spoke very little French when I went, everyone was so friendly that I picked up quite a lot of language very quickly. I met Daniel at the end of the summer, and I started working in his parents' restaurant. I learnt the phrases I needed to serve the customers, and I spoke French all the time to Daniel and his family. I've lived in France for 5 years now, and I must have quite a good ear, because I pass for French quite often. My grammar isn't always accurate, but I know all the colloquial French that I need.
Kevin.
I went on holiday to Germany 5 years ago, and I was really frustrated because the people I was with all spoke quite good German, and I was the only one who couldn't communicate directly. As soon as I got home, I bought a German course with a book and a set of cassettes. I studied the course at home after work and at the weekend. The book concentrated on understanding and speaking in simple situations in restaurants, shops, and stations. The grammar was simplified, and there were lots of helpful exercises on vocabulary, pronunciation, and listening. I went back to Germany last summer, and I was delighted to find that I could get by in German. I made lots of mistakes, but I understood people, and I was able to order drinks and food, buy tickets, and be polite to people in their own language. It was great.